Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Hope everyone's having a great, wonderful day. Hope everyone had a great, wonderful New Year. Fooling with my 1980 C10 here. I've had it for a few months now. I put 1,522 miles on it so far. Haven't had any problems with it. Runs pretty decent, you know. She still needs cleaned up a little bit, you know. But I've just been driving it to work and enjoying it. I gotta get me an oil pressure gauge. I pulled the bezel out and everything to clean it. It had dust on the inside. It's got it on the outside now. But anyway, I cleaned all that up. When I was cleaning the needles off that one, they're 43 years old. They're brittle, and it snapped it off. So I found a bunch of them, but they want $50 for a used oil pressure gauge, and you know, it's a pig in a poke. You don't know if it's any good or not. But anyway, been driving it, been enjoying it. I've been I come out here today and tinkering with it. It's a little chilly today. It's 45. It's probably a lot colder in some of the places you all are, but anyway, it's a little chilly today with the wind blowing and everything. The radio didn't work. It's a AM/FM cassette player, and it wasn't working, and it was stuck on tape. So I took it out. Excuse me, I had dust on my phone. So I took it out the other day, and fixed that. It was a switch broke in there, spring. Not it's not the greatest sounding radio, but yeah, I got a radio now. But anyway, the brake light was staying on. There's a switch under the dash that goes on the my park brake. On the park brake, and it was stuck all the time. So I fixed that. Put a CB in here. I don't have it hooked up or anything. It was my dad. He passed away in 2017, 18. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. That was his, and I hung on to it and everything, you know. So I just stuck it in here to you know, have a little bit of my dad in here. I didn't have to drill any holes in the dash or anything. The two screws are, you can barely see them. Those two screws actually hold the bottom of the ashtray in there, and they lined up perfect with the bracket, so that worked out well. But reason for this, I'm doing this video is fellow YouTuber, he messaged me, wanting me to do a little update video on it, show a few things about it. I bought a carpeted dash cover. Yeah, I know they are what they are. They're kind of cheesy, but it was $50, and the new dash pad was about $400. So I just stuck that on there for now. Like I said, this is a daily driver. I mean, I've got some things I'm going to do to it. You know, bigger tires and wheels, and you know, some patch panels for the back of the bed. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. But so I'm just gonna do a little walk around of it. But actually, it's just a good daily driver. You know, I really enjoy driving it. I gotta fix this seat. I looked for the original style, the original pattern, but LMC doesn't have that pattern. You know, I wanted to keep it as original as I can. You know, I kind of like that pattern. My wife thought it was just a seat cover someone put on it, but that's original stuff. When I was working on it the other day, I did have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, I was coming home from work 2 weeks ago, and it was running great, you know, and all of a sudden it just started bogging and slowing down like it was running out of gas, and I just filled it up that morning, so it wasn't that, you know. So I'm like, well, it must be a fuel filter. So I got it to the house, and that was on a Friday. And Saturday it would not start, you know. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to get a fuel filter. Well, I don't know how it is where you all are at, but where I'm at, the auto parts places, they're not overly abundant of 1980 256 cylinder engine parts laying around, you know. So I had to order it. So But anyway, what it ended up being was, you know, it's got dual tanks on it. That's like the only option this truck has. It's rubber floor mat, you know, truck. It's got, the only options it has is dual tanks, automatic transmission, and the gauge package. That's it. It's just a bare bones, you know, custom deluxe, you know. But and you can't get in any kind of hurry to in this truck, you know, to go anywhere. I mean, it'll do. I've had it to 75 before. I mean, it'll, you know, but it takes forever to get up that fast. But I only work 15 miles from here, so you know, the fastest I get the truck is 55 anyway. So it ain't a big deal. It probably gets about close to 30 miles to the gallon. So anyway, getting back to the fuel problem, I ordered a fuel filter, the one that goes in the carburetor, and the carburetor's another thing I'm gonna talk about. And I bought an external filter, you know, a big one, an inline filter. So anyway, both of them were Wicks. So anyway, I put those in there and it still wouldn't start. So I'm like, what the heck? You know, it wasn't getting any fuel. And I could prime it and it would fire right up. So I'm checking fuel lines and everything, you know. What it ended up being is the valve for that switch. I always leave it on the left-hand side because, I mean, they're 20-gallon tanks. I'm not trying to go to California in this truck, so I just use the the driver's side tank. When I got the truck from the people I got truck from, they said that there was the right-hand tank needed cleaned, and they just never used it, and it's got a locking cap on it anyway. So I might address that one day. I probably will, but you know, but for now I just use the one tank. But that valve had went bad. It wasn't leaking or anything, but it wasn't letting any fuel get through it. So I completely bypassed that valve and put a piece of hose from, you know, to make the difference up, you know, where the valve was, and just run it off the driver's side tank, and it fired right up. I mean, the filter needed changed anyway because it had a little bit of dirt and stuff in it, you know, which, you know, it's what you always get after a while with these things. But anyway, so it's running fine now, you know. Spent half a day trying to figure that out. But you know, back here, yeah, it's got a little bit of rot right there. The same thing on the other side. But while I was under it, I was looking at the cab corners and the rockers. This thing has had one repaint. The cab corners are original to the truck. The rockers are not. They have been replaced, but somebody done an exceptional job on it. It looks like it's starting to bubble up there a little bit. But I mean, they done it right. They're in there good. Another little thing here. You know, your doors, they don't want to close right. Well, this one didn't, so I took a piece of 1/2-inch airline, you know, DOT airline for like a big truck, split it, stuck it on there. It closes good now. Anyway, when they repainted it, they replaced this fender, and you know, Chinese junk, I guess. But anyway, I'll probably, when I paint the truck, which I eventually will, I'm gonna put another fender on it. I'm gonna order some bigger tires for it. These tires probably don't have 2,000 miles on them. They're really good. They're Toyos, but they're too small. They're dinky, look terrible. So I'm gonna put some 265 75s on it. And I really need to find a factory GM. I don't like these carburetors, and I really don't like this one because this is a Chinese knockoff that somebody put on it. It's new, but there's a lot of people having problems with these things. This one has a flat spot right off idle, and you know, part throttle is just blah, you know, nothing. And I pulled the breather off, the air filter, air cleaner, everything, to see if I can adjust the oh my gosh, the accelerator pump. Yeah, that's it, the accelerator pump. So, but there's no adjustment on it. So what you have is what you have, you know. Anyway, this is where, if anybody's wondering, this is where the one of the fuel filters is. Excuse me. It's inside here. Real easy to change. Just make sure you use 2 wrenches or you'll twist this. So anyway, so I put a filter in it. I put a new vacuum advance canister on it. Where's it at? There it is. Put a new vacuum advance canister on it, thinking that was the flat spot. It helped, but that wasn't it. I put a new fuel pump on it, and the one that came off of it, believe it or not, was the original. It had never been off there. And anyway, I put this inline fuel filter on. It's got a new, that's new, distributor cap, rotor, wires, plugs, oil pressure sanding unit, which does me a lot of good with a broken gauge. New water pump, new alternator, new battery. But anyway, it's doing great. And I put a new master cylinder on it. But this thing's got a heater in it like no tomorrow. But a good friend of mine, he's got a YouTube channel, Bad 66 Chevelles. If y'all ain't never checked it out, you check it out. He's got a lot of projects that he's doing. He's doing some cool stuff he's got some really cool cars. Hope everything's well with him. He wanted me to show this the head on this thing. Now this is still has all the original, you know, emission stuff for 1980 on it. You know, the stupid looking valve cover with all these tubes and this charcoal canister. It doesn't have a smog pump, but it's, you know, it didn't come with that. But it's got all this other stuff. Got the EGR and this, you know, all this junk. But one thing it has that I don't like, that, you know, but it's okay, I can live with it. The intake manifold is integrated into the head. Does not bolt on. That's it right there. Right here. On my hand. There it is, right there. It's integrated into the head. You can't change it. They do make performance parts for 256 cylinders, but yeah, I would have to change the head to do all that, and I'm not going to do all that. This thing's all original. It's got 151,564 exact original miles on it, and I don't want to change all that. Everything is just like it was when it came up in the factory. It still has the original jack and handle and everything. You know, all that's original. I just want to keep it all original. Somebody did replace these tubes right here, which is good. It's all right. It's still factory looking stuff. But anyway, I just been meaning to make this video for a while, and I had a chance to do it. And now I do on a cold day, so I'm out here doing this. But anyway, that's the intake. Not happy with it, and not happy with that type of carburetor. But I've had these before on I think S10s, the older ones with the V6 at 2.8. They had something like this or similar to it or exactly like it. I don't know, but they were something like it. They were okay. They weren't great, but this one, I don't want to say it's junk. I mean, it starts and runs and it gets good gas mileage, but that flat spot drives me nuts. So I'm looking for one of those to rebuild. You know, it's not a factory, nothing. It's RP. That's not it. I'm pretty sure it's not a Chevy deal. But I did find one, but they wanted like crazy money for that thing. They wanted like $350 for that little carburetor, and I'm like, no, I've got a brand new Holly that wasn't much more than that, you know. Well, 2 years ago wasn't much more than that, but anyway, that's what I'm doing today. Hope y'all have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.